Sorry. So I gotta get my voice here. I thought our guys did a good job once we kind of dug ourselves a hole, and you got to give Kentucky a ton of credit to come out like they did, knowing that they were down bodies. And I think Coach Pope's done a really good job kind of galvanizing that crew, having them ready to go. You know, I mean, you look at some guys that weren't in the rotation earlier, like Colin Chandler. Shoot, I mean, he has +7 when he's in the game tonight. Thought he played great. He hit the big three late. I mean, Noah's had big games. You know, they've had multiple guys. Travis Perry steps up, scores double digits for him, you know, and he wasn't playing that heavy before. So they've had guys step up, play well. You know, Carr, we kind of chose not to guard him, which, you know, we were supposed to guard him when he had the ball, just help off a lot more, and he ends up burning us for 3-3. So, you know, for him to have 17, I thought it was pretty good too. So I give them a bunch of credit, but thought our guys, you know, didn't really panic. We get down 12, we just stick with it. You know, we started getting stops. You know, our defensive efficiency numbers after that first 4 minutes, you know, after the first 4-minute media timeout, the next 16 minutes of the first half, we held them to a .8, and we scored 24 points on the next 30 possessions. So the defense from that point on was where we needed it to be. Now, why we're not starting better, you know, I got to go look at the video again. I thought we'd have a little bit better start, you know, where we still have turnover issues. We had 15 turnovers, only 14 assists. So, you know, part of putting LeBaron in the starting lineup was allowing Mark to get off the ball a little bit more like he'd done with Estrada last year. I thought it's worked for Mark. I mean, he's back-to-back 30-point games for the first time in his career, and it's been pretty efficient too. So I think that made sense. We just need LeBaron to stop turning it over as much as he is. And, you know, I thought Holloway, you know, pairing him a little bit more with Sears too, letting him create a little bit, even though he didn't have an assist. I thought, you know, he ended up scoring 19 off the bench. Thought he's been good. So, you know, Sears is playing the best basketball I've seen him play since he's been here on both sides of the ball. You know, the one play with the bad turnover there late, trying to get Cliff a lob, which not the smartest play. He apologized as soon as he came to the bench. He felt bad. But I think he knew Cliff was, you know, 1 point shy of a double-double. He had played so hard. He rebounded it. He was trying to get him a bucket. Then he turns around, gets a steal, comes back, gets the three. I think his defensive effort's been pretty good, best it's been. And then I think offensively he's been really efficient. So proud of the effort. Got to clean up the turnovers. Got to still clean up the defense a little bit, but it was significantly better in the Missouri game.
Yeah, you made like 8 subs in the first 6 minutes. What was your thought process between that and then also are you trying to send a message to your team in any way that, you know, nobody's minutes are – they can't take your minutes?
It was more zero tolerance for effort, and it wasn't so much an effort thing, but I basically said there's going to be zero tolerance for effort. Scouting report screw-ups, that's a bigger thing. Like, we put scouting report in, it needs to be fouled and need to be locked in and focus on the right thing, and then just dumb turnovers. Like, we got to stop turning the ball over. So I don't know that it worked, but that's the way it's going to be moving forward. Like, I'm tired of the guys not being locked into a scouting report, and it hasn't been we don't have. I mean, if you grade our effort levels, you know, 1 through 10, it's not like we've got anybody giving a 4, 5, 6, but there's like levels to this thing, and we can't be giving an 8 or a 9. We need a 10. So you know, we just got to challenge the guys, and I thought they responded well, and we kind of settled in there after we got down 12, and it was a little bit better after that.
Hey, Nate, I don't know exactly what it was, but when I looked up, it was 9:35 going the first half. They have 30. They end the first half of 40. As good a stretch as you've seen defensively from your guys this year?
Yeah, you know, they scored 16 in the first 4 minutes. So they end up with 24 over the next 16 on 30 possessions was a .8. Like I'm looking from the 16 to 12 was a .57, from the 8 to 4 was a .4, and then we closed it with a .86. So there was one in the middle of those that was just a little suspect, but those 3 out of those next 4, kind of 4-minute wars, if you will, was as good as we've seen. And this is a good offensive team. I mean, even with all the injuries and everything, I mean, Brea is one of the best shooters in the country. Carr's obviously really good. Amari Williams just had a triple-double not that long ago. You know, they're good. So they got the 5th rated offense in the country. So to do that for 16 minutes or 12 of those 16, that was as good as we've seen. And that's really what I want us focused on moving forward. Just get locked into the scouting report and play as hard as you can possibly play. Don't turn the ball over on offense and let everything else fall where it goes. Making shots, missing shots, I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about scouting report. Are you locked in mentally? Are you giving us max effort? And an 8 out of 10 ain't enough. It needs to be a 10 out of 10. And are you taking care of the ball on offense? Those 3 things, I probably need to add in offensive rebounding because I think we only got 1 in the second half. But we need Mo Diabate to be a little bit more locked into scouting report stuff so we can play him more because he's a monster on the glass. And hopefully we'll get him tuned in for the Mississippi State one. We're going to need him a lot more in that game. But Cliff, highest, most rebounds Cliff's had since he's been here. I mean, he had 15 rebounds and he had the best defensive leverage on the team. We were 45 points per 100 possessions better with him on the floor on the defensive end than we were when he was off the floor. So, I thought it was a great game out of Cliff tonight.
Yeah, Coach, you passed Wimp Sanderson for the most wins over top 25 teams in program history. Just what does that mean to you to reach that accomplishment in year 6?
I mean, honestly, I mean, Wimp did a really good job here. I'm guessing that the SEC is a lot better now, so there's a lot more opportunities to get top 25 wins than he probably had. And when they give you the opportunity, you take advantage of them and try to get it done. We don't have enough because we had a chance to get 2 more in the last 2 games before this, and we didn't come up with them. But, I think it does speak to the level of the SEC as a whole that now we've got all these opportunities. I mean, every team we play, the rest of the year is a top 25 team. So I'm guessing Wimp didn't have that many opportunities like we have, but you also got to go win them. So, a lot of credit to our guys we've had here. Herb's in the building today getting rehab on his shoulder. I mean, Herb got this thing going for us, and then you got, Shackelford and Quinterly and go down the list, Brandon Miller, Clowney, just a lot of players that stepped up in big-time games throughout the years, and now a lot of opportunities to get top 25 wins. So combination of the two, it's a good time for basketball in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, you talked about Marcus probably playing the best basketball you've seen from him in his time here. What do you think, is a flip or is a switch flipped for him, or what do you think is behind that mentally?
I think he just wants to win. I think he came back to try to win a national championship, came back to try to play his way into the NBA. Winning solves a lot of that stuff, and I think he's not worried about, if you look, he's not really forcing it, pressing it. He got stuck in the lane where, like in the past, I think he would have thrown up a bad shot. He kicks it out. I think Holloway, hit a 3 off, if I remember correctly. We got a good shot off the possession. He's trying to play the right way. He's as coachable as he's ever been, and his effort on defense has been through the roof really the last 3-4 weeks or so. So I just, a combination of let's get him to lead, let's play the right way on both sides of the ball, give us total effort on defense, and I think he's been doing that. And I'm super happy with the way he's been playing.
One of the things that you've mentioned about Mark lately is making better decisions at the rim. It seemed like he was